What up, Skate? Welcome to Bar Vibes with Bryce the Fourth. Giving out raw reaction and interacting with the masses. No subject is safe. You hear the people and the noises, but that's the point because without the people, what is the point? Embracing vibrations. First and foremost, happy holidays to everybody. There's nothing like spending time with the fam, nothing like spending time with your friends that you love. Hope everybody enjoyed themselves. I hope you got everything you needed to get out of, that little funk where it's like the end of the year and you needed to just like get back right into that space. I hope everybody got that. And happy holidays to everybody again. So, but we got to get to the point. Football, Eagles, Cowboys. Eagles lost, and it is what it is. And I'm not gonna give you that whole we had a backup quarterback thing. We as an Eagles lost by 6 points. You don't turn the ball over 4 times and expect to win against and I'm giving them their flowers, a good team. The Cowboys are a really good team, although they gave up 34 points to a backup. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying that they're bad. I'm just saying they did. It wasn't like and listen, I'll say this first and like up front. Dak Prescott had a really fucking good game. I'm pretty sure he was 15-16 to start the game, and the only incompletion was the pick 6. Eagles are up 10, and they just couldn't capitalize. They were just shooting themselves in the foot now, and it seems weird when you talk about it like as an Eagles fan, but as a football fan, the Eagles did everything they could to lose this game. They just kept giving it away when they had opportunities to win it. Dallas did a very good job of jumping on those opportunities. Hey, if you want to give us the ball, we're gonna do what we need to do. Why not? That is what you're supposed to do as a football team. They had 20 points off of turnovers, and if they don't, so after the first turnover with the Gardner Minshew, Quez Watkins, I don't know, he doesn't watch my show, but you need to start running some better routes, my boy. That man overpowered you on the first interception, jumped over his back. I digress. It's getting late in the season, so there's not a lot to talk about when it comes to teams. Jalen Hurts plays totally different game. Dak Prescott did what he needed to do to win this game. At the end of the day, it's about injuries. I hope that Lane is okay. First of all, Bleacher Report with the whole, Lane's out for the season. I was like, what? No, he's out for the regular season. He has an abdominal injury. I need to stop talking so fast. And he's out for the regular season. That's okay. Just win a game, make it, get the first seed. As for Dallas, they are doing everything they need to do to ruin the chances of the Eagles winning the NFC East. I don't know if you guys know, but there hasn't been a repeat champion in 16 years. So, history was going to repeat itself. At the end of the day, Gardner Minshew did what he was supposed to do. The fumble on the handoff, that was bad. But then also Miles with the fumble to potentially go up. There were so many opportunities for them to go up and then they make a mistake. Go up, make a mistake. They sacked Dak Prescott 6 times. And then also, they gave him so many pockets to just run and run and run. Gardner Minshew did not get sacked once. Not one time. So, moving forward, it is what it is. Cowboys win. They got that. It's cool. Chargers, Colts. There's a lot of games this week, where it's just like not a lot to talk about. This will be one of them. Chargers, Colts, they just punting. Justin Herbert got a little bit, in the beginning. The Colts, they should have known. You got Jeff Saturday. It's just not going to be a good idea to think that you're going to make a run, especially when you got Matt Ryan, who, to me, when I watched the game, it doesn't look like he really cares. He's just going with the motions and trying to get, the rest of his career going. Chargers didn't come on to the second half. It was 20-3. Fuck you, Austin Eckler. You ruined my goddamn fantasy run. I was 6-8, and then I was like, all right, Justin Herbert got it. The man didn't even throw it. He threw a pick. Didn't even throw a touchdown pass. Austin Eckler ruined a lot of people's fantasy hopes in their semifinal. But again, the Chargers did what they needed to do. Look at Justin Herbert. Finally, for the first time in his career, is over 500 as a starter. 24-23. Kudos to him. And the Chargers made the playoffs since 2013, I believe. Good for them. The Colts, yeah, they just been a dumpster fire for quite a while. Bucs Cardinals. It was closer than it was supposed to be. The Cardinals were trash, and they've been trash, especially with Kyler hurt. And even so, their defense kept them in this game. Tom Brady was throwing picks all over the place. I don't know what the fuck this man was thinking about. But the Cardinals were up like 16-3, and I saw a lot of people like, oh yeah, they're done. They're done, and they're done. And this is one of those games where it's like, I mean, they still got Tom Brady though. And here we go, into fruition. They still got Tom Brady though. They went up. They were down 13. Tom scores a touchdown. They're down. Then they go to OT. Tom took care of business, and that's what GOATs do. Again, a game that doesn't really mean anything for the Cardinals. The Cardinals are done, but the Bucs can still win their division and get into the playoffs. And of course, people are like, "You don't want to see Tom Brady in the playoffs." No, you don't. Y'all better do something. And when I say y'all, because not my team, the other NFC teams, they all better do something because Tom's on it. That man ain't got nothing else to do. He ain't married. His kids got mailed in their fucking Christmas presents. He ain't got nothing else to do. Packers, Dolphins. The Dolphins have piss poorly managed Tua Tagovailoa's concussion. The man clearly was concussed. Even his own teammates were like, yeah, no. And he played the entire game. All right, so wait, Pep. So before he got concussed, he had a touchdown. I believe he had like 126 yards. TD. Let's go. He gets slammed to the ground again. Head hits the back of the turf, and he throws 3 picks. You don't think this man is just seeing like weird? He can't see straight. Even Aaron Rodgers at the end of the game was like, I think this man might need to shut it down just for his health alone, because concussions are nothing to play with. The Dolphins tried their best. That Jalen Waddle touchdown was fire. He threw it to him for like 4 yards. And if you go watch it back, Tyreek Hill outran the blockers. That shit was fire. But either way, at the end of the day, this is about the fact that the Packers can run the table in the NFC North and win because, and I'll get to it, the Lions losing. Aaron Rodgers is like, I'm not done. I just hope that Tua and the people in his camp realize that this is not the best situation for you, but like you might want to sit it down. As much as it means to your team, you might want to sit it down. This is your second concussion, because when a team is winning, they don't want to tell you when a player is hurt, especially their franchise quarterback. They don't want to tell you that, but it is what it is. Raiders, Steelers, another game. It's 13-10. Who cares? Kenny Pickett, they were playing for Franco Harris, RIP, immaculate reception. If you know, you know. It was a very boring game. Derek Carr, 3 picks. I've been saying it all year. I don't know what he thinks about when it's time to win the game. They're literally handing it to you. They didn't have any offense, and when I say they, I mean the Steelers. But last chance, Kenny Pickett to Pickens, which is I love that, Pickett to Pickens. There was no offense in this game. It was just punt, turnover, punt. And they gave them an opportunity, and they just couldn't capitalize. When I say they, in this instance, I mean the Raiders. And Derek Carr, I don't know what it is. They gave you an opportunity to take over this division. But Steelers win. Niners Commanders, pretty high scoring game. It was 37-20, I believe. The Niners, their offense is so good. They lost Jimmy G, but their run game and their scheming is so good. Again, as I've said, if you've listened to what I've said before, you could put anybody in there as long as he doesn't turn the ball over and he's smart with the football. Their offense is going to flourish. They got C-Mac, Christian McCaffrey. He didn't have a gigantic day, but he did what needed to be done. The Commanders, they put in Carson Wentz, and that blew my mind. And from what I've read recently, they're now in a position where they're worried about who they need to put in, Tyler Heinicke or Carson Wentz next week, because they have playoff implications. Like the NFC East could possibly have all 4 teams be in, but it's based on who's going to win these games in the last 2 weeks. I don't know. I mean, the Niners are pretty secure. They got the division, and they're okay. Purdy, again, doing what he needed to do. He's making the passes, not turning the ball over, and that's all you need for a team who has a really good defense. I think they're number 1 in the league, and an offense who you throw it to anybody, they're gonna make a play. It's gonna be very, very crazy. The NFC is getting wild. Texans Titans, boring game. No Tanny, no Ryan Tannehill. Malik didn't even have 100 yards passing, and they still almost won this game. But then you have to look at it like you're playing the Texans. Who cares? The Texans have 1 win, count them, 2 wins now, 19-14. The Titans, after they lost to the Eagles, they just been shitty. I don't know what the scheme is. I don't know what they're thinking. I don't know where they're trying to go. They got Tractor Cito, who I believe is still 3rd in the league in rushing. And still, they had it on lock. They had their division on lock, and they just couldn't get it done. You hate to see it. Texans get another dub. Lions-Panthers. Every time I looked up at this game, because I was watching it, and I was like, wait, they scored again? The Panthers did not punt. They scored on every single drive. Every single one. They had a field goal or a pick six or a fumble or a touchdown every single drive. I don't know what the Lions were thinking this week. Their offense was rumbling, and then Jared Goff fumbles in the red zone, and the Lions are one of those teams where you need everything to be perfect. They started off 1-6 or 1-5, 1-6, and then they got back to this point, and it's like a boxer where it's like you're fighting through the entire 10 rounds, and then you get to the 11th, you're like, that's all I had. I mean, I gave you everything I got, and I feel like that's where the Lions are right now, especially with the Packers, like I said earlier. Like, rambling off these wins, the Lions were like, damn, like they expended all this energy, and now what? I mean, you lost to the Panthers. You let Baker Mayfield look good, and you know how I feel about Baker Mayfield. I mean, he did what he needed to do as well. You hate to see it. Vikings, Giants. The Vikings are the first team in NFL history to win 11 times by less than 7. Yes, that is a team that is very resilient, but that's also a team that you need to know if you jump on them, you can beat them. Eagles have done it. Just saying. Kirk Cousins is taking chances at this point, which is crazy. I don't know what the Giants do with Daniel Jones. You can't really build around him because he's not a really good passing quarterback. He can run the ball, and then with Saquon, they can run the ball. It's not the same when you have a quarterback who can actually throw it. He reverts to running, and when it doesn't work, they go downhill. The Vikings, listen, I heard a take that Justin Jefferson should be in the running for an MVP, and I honestly agree. I mean, the man's beaten, the reception record for the Vikings over Randy Moss. He's about to get the receiving yards. He's over 1,500. And anytime they need a big play, they go to him. That's what you need in a number one. If you don't have a number two, wow, that was wild. If you don't have a number two, I don't know where their number two has been, but every time they need to play, he's there, and that's what an MVP is. A person that if he's not there, you don't win these games. And that's a fact. They could have lost 2 or 3 games without him making those plays. I get it. Receivers, skill players don't normally win MVPs, but they need to be talking about it. I mean, at the end of the day, the Giants just couldn't get it done. They don't have the personnel to win these close games, and the Vikings do. And that's what it is. The Bills and the Bears. I looked up and I saw it. I think it was 10-3, and I'm like, oh shit! Look at the Bears. Look at them Bears doing it. No. Again, Josh Allen putting a team on his motherfucking back. It was a very close game going in the second half, and the Bears are also a team that are just rebuilding. They don't have the personnel at the moment to hang with teams that are already established. The Bills got 2 receivers, Gabe Davis and Stephon Diggs, and they didn't have really a good running game other than Josh Allen. Singletary, I don't know where the fuck this man came from, but he came out and balled. The second half, they just were like, all right, put some points on him. Again, a game where it was just cut and dry. Bears are just not good. And that's that. They don't want to win. The Bears don't want to win these games. They want to get as high a pick as they possibly can, but they want to look competitive, and they did in the first half. Bills, just a better team. Chiefs, Seahawks, again, another game where the better team was just better. I told you, Geno Smith put his cape on, and then they ripped that shit off. You're not Batman, my boy. I'm sorry. You're just not. Patty M's barely had to do anything, although that fucking rushing touchdown where he put his foot on or his hand on the ground, reached for the pylon, that was pretty good. I mean, the man's going to be MVP. I'm pissed off because of how things have worked. Jalen had played last week or this week. Neither here nor there. He's being who he's supposed to be. Mahomes is being who he's supposed to be. He's leading his team to victories. When they need him, they need him. Their defense, Chiefs defense, not that good, and I need AFC teams to understand this. They're not that good. If you could just get a couple 3 and outs, or if you can keep the Chiefs out of the red zone, you can beat them. Their defense is not good. If they're not getting a rush with 4, you can beat them. Seahawks look very stagnant. Geno Smith, back to Geno Smith, making mistakes, and just a boring AFC game where Chiefs just went out and handled business. Falcons, Ravens, boring. Very boring. Very boring. Falcons with Desmond Ridder, nothing. Their rookie quarterback. The Ravens knew they just had to keep it on the ground, pound, make sure that the quarterback doesn't make any mistakes. It was 17-9. Who wants to watch that? I mean, unless you're a Ravens or a Falcons fan, who wants to watch that? Again, another game. There was a lot of games where it was just boring, and this was one of them. 17-9. That's it. Saints Brown. Boring. I don't want to repeat myself. It was a cold game. I'll give them that. The Saints with Kamara, thank God for him, for the Saints. Otherwise, it might have been a fucking tie. I get that Deshaun Watson hasn't played for a while. He just looks terrible. I think that people might have gotten in his head, maybe saying making the jokes, and he's worried about his image and this and that. Browns are just not that good, which sucks because they have a really good defense, but their offense is trash. But I will say this, I think in the offseason they'll make some moves to help them out. At this point, though, they don't have it. The Saints just were better, I guess. The Saints are not that good, and I'm not even going to talk about next week because the Eagles play them, but yeah. Final game, Jags-Jets. Boring. Zach Wilson is fucking done. That man doesn't even look interested in playing football right now. they gave him the reins again, and he just doesn't look interested. I feel like a lot of things have gotten to him where he believes that they don't want him there, and I don't think they want him there, and reports say they don't want him there. Trevor Lawrence coming into his own as a second-year quarterback. Shout out to Dougie P because he knows what he's doing with quarterbacks. He's making the right decisions. He's not making mistakes, especially against bad teams. And you know what? Jets are not a bad team because the Jets have a really good fucking defense. It's hard to say when a team is losing, like, oh, this is one guy. No, it's this one fucking guy, and it is Zach Wilson. Mike White is back next week, and I really hope for Jets' sake that they can salvage this because they have a really good team, especially in that division where there's no Tom Brady. The Bills, yeah, I get it, but they could easily have a wild card, dub. I don't get it. I hope Mike White comes back to save him. I really do. That's football, Sixers on an 8-game winning streak. I thought they were going to lose. I was watching with my pops, and we kept turning it back. Like you go back and forth on the TV because there were Saturday games and there were Sunday games. We kept going back, and they were up 3. I'm like, let's go. Okay. They keep saying that, like, James Harden is thinking about going back to Houston. I don't think that's going to happen. People just like to talk on the internet, and that's the internet. LFC, they got a dub against Villa on Boxing Day. I was very surprised to see how many people were outside on Boxing Day, but I guess that's because Christmas is on a Sunday. If you celebrate Christmas, nobody out. And I was like, all right, cool. Yeah, we got a nice showing. It was cool. They beat Villa. It was very dope. People talk about New Year's resolutions. I don't want to hear that gym shit. Blah 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 blah. My New Year's resolution is to learn how to edit videos. I want to expand. I think next year I want to have a co-host. I want to talk because it'll get very much more interesting, especially if I get somebody who roots for the AFC. That'll be bomb. So I gotta find somebody who's very confident being on camera, very open to jokes, and just willing to have that back and forth without it being ridiculous. So that's my New Year's resolution. Big ups to the first day. Stay focused and be great. Take a sip. Much love from the kid. Enjoy your day. Enjoy your life. Stay chill. And also to the people who want to say New Year, New Me, you should be fucking doing that every fucking day. Every day should be New Year, New You. Every day should be better. Just saying. BWBIV.com.